Welcome into college football now. Let's break down the top 25 recruiting classes. Harrison Graham, Tom Downey here because, Tom, signing day has snuck up on us. It's here Wednesday. A lot of things are going to go down on, I guess, early National Signing Day.
It's the main National Signing Day.
Yeah, it's most of the kids are going to commit tomorrow. I'm all over the place. We'll go 25-1 here. Let's break down 21 through 25 as we start with the Maryland Terrapins.
Yeah, they're 25. They got a couple 4-stars. Same with Pitt, Cal, Nebraska, Iowa. This is the area that come the end of early signing day, this will be the spot that changes a lot because you'll have teams that don't have 20-plus commits yet already, get some more guys, and they'll rise up. And maybe a team like Maryland, already with 21, close to being full, they might slide back out. So there will be a lot of movement here outside the top 15 because it's oftentimes a volume thing when it comes down to this particular area.
So we're going to have a ton of National Signing Day videos here on the channel throughout Wednesday. So go ahead and subscribe because we're going to have a ton of team classes. Alabama, we're going to have Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Ohio State. James is going to do Michigan stuff on the Michigan channel, so you can check that out. Tons of NSD coverage throughout the day on Wednesday. So hit that big red button and subscribe. If you're a fan of recruiting, we are the place for you on National Signing Day. 20 through 16, Tom. We'll talk about the Longhorns in a second, but I got to be impressed with what Sam Pittman has done at Arkansas, not only on the field this year, but on the recruiting trail as well. He did not take over a good situation.
Yeah, and to be able to get an early class stabilized, I think matters for Pittman. He's got 3 different 4-star recruits coming in. Penn State, a smaller class right now. They do have 5 4-stars. Shout out Ole Miss. They've jumped up. When we did this about 2 weeks ago, they were actually outside the top 25 altogether. Now they're inside that top 20.
Lane train, baby.
Wisconsin's got a 5-star commit because their top 3 guys are all offensive linemen. Shocking, right? Texas, meanwhile, kind of in a precarious spot. Now, they've lost some of their current guys on the roster. There have been some transfers, some early declarations. They still have a top 20 class right now, but you're Texas. You're supposed to be top 10 in recruiting every single year.
Really, you should be top 5. And that was the thing about Mack Brown at the end of his tenure. He was still getting top 5, top 10 classes. They just weren't winning on the field. Tom Herman has brought in the number 17 class this year. That's not what you're looking for. Quite frankly, that's unacceptable with the amount of talent Texas has in its backyard. Not great. And plus, looking ahead to 2022, he just lost the number 1 quarterback in the country in Quinn Ewers.
Even if you're bringing in 18 commits, it's not supposed to be, half of them are 5 or 4 stars. It's supposed to be like 80% of them are 5 or 4 stars when it's 18 guys.
And the 3 stars you bring in run like 4 340s.
Yeah, and that's not exactly what's happening here.
So was keeping Tom Herman a mistake? Because the chatter is that Chris Del Conte flirted with Urban Meyer. It didn't work out, but he has now publicly announced that Tom Herman will be back for 2021. So type Y for yes, type N for no. Was keeping Herman a mistake? I guess the answer could also be type T for TBD, but
that's the cop-out answer. Also probably the right answer.
On the field hasn't been good enough. It's been better than Charlie Strong, but number 17 recruiting class, that is not what you're looking for. Maybe they get a big push on National Signing Day. Top 15 we go, Tom.
Tennessee was number 2 at one point. Now, it was back in May. They've started to bleed commits, though, and they've plummeted to number 15. They do have 10 4-stars. Jimmy Pruitt can recruit a little bit, but they've been trending in the wrong direction. USC was top 10 a couple weeks ago, but one of their quarterbacks, Jake Garcia, decommitted. They also had 2 guys in the top 100, so okay, they should be fine. They could make a bit of a splash. They got some guys who are uncommitted that could sign and commit on Wednesday. A&M is number 13. They got a 5-star. North Carolina has a 5-star. Miami's only got 20 commits. They do have 2 5-stars, though. James Williams and Leonard Taylor, both top 15 guys, so they need the defensive help, Harrison.
One more note on Texas being 17, getting out-recruited by A&M and Oklahoma in the state of Texas, who we haven't gotten to yet. Not a great look for the Longhorns. But you talked about North Carolina, Miami. These teams ironically played this past week, and Mack Brown kicked Manny Diaz's ass. What is the better program right now? Type UNC for North Carolina. Type MIA for Miami.
Define better. Are we talking like better tradition, better overall job, or like where would I want to commit to right now?
If you have a son who can play for who's committing somewhere next year, where are you sending him? I'm sending him to Mack Brown.
I think I might go North Carolina.
I think he's got a better chance to win. I trust him as a coach more, and if nothing else, like the type of man he is, right? Not to say that Manny Diaz is not that guy, but Matt Brown is a great leader of men. He's going to groom your son. So I think North Carolina, what he's done with that's bad. North Carolina, great year. Tom Downey's mind's in the gutter. Give me UNC. Top 10 we go as I try to save this show.
Recover from
Oklahoma at number 10.
Hey, this is built around 5-star quarterback, number 6 overall, Caleb Williams. Oklahoma did miss out on the number 1 receiver. That would have boosted them, but this is going to be a very quality class for Lincoln Riley. I mentioned the volume thing. Not a big class for OU. It's a smaller one.
Yeah, and Lincoln Riley's debunked that he needs transfer quarterbacks because Spencer Rattler's turned out to be just fine. Number 9, Michigan. The Wolverines, a team to watch out for on signing day. A couple of commits. There's some weird rumors going around, but they're in the top 10. And we don't really know if Jim Harbaugh is going to be there for the long haul.
And that's because he doesn't have an extension. So I think keeping J.J. McCarthy will be critical. Seems like things are on the correct path there. If you get him to sign, you feel great about it there. They're still putting together a top 10 class. If they can hold that top 10 class, I think that's a big deal for Michigan.
They've got to find a way to close the gap athletically with Ohio State. Because you watch those two teams play every year, a lot more speed at Ohio State.
That's why OSU wins. They just out-athlete everyone not named Clemson or Alabama.
And the quarterback gap is just massive. Yeah. Maybe McCarthy is finally the guy for Jim Harbaugh. Now, we got some deals for you guys at chatsports.com/CFB sale. Tom doesn't go Christmas shopping until like the 22nd.
All right, Santa Harrison.
In this economy, chatsports.com/CFB sale. There's some face masks in there as well. A lot of this stuff up to 30, 40, even 50% off, so take advantage. We got long sleeves. It's hoodie season. Also,
it's always hoodie season.
It's always hoodie season.
Except for summer in Texas.
Especially if you're in the Midwest. Chatsports.com/CFB sale. That link will be in the comments. It'll be in the description. Get yourself some Christmas gear today. All right, let's go to number 8 here, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Brian Kelly really has stabilized this program the past few years.
This has kind of been what Notre Dame has done. There haven't been a ton of 5-stars. They've gotten a pretty solid amount, but they've always recruited steadily, getting close to that 25 number, bringing in a bunch of 4-stars. Yep. It's more of the same for Notre Dame, and they're going to keep being very good.
Never top 5, but typically top 10.
Exactly.
Number 7, the Florida Gators. That's also where they're ranked in the college football playoff rankings because reasons. Dan Mullen doing a good job at Florida.
Hey, you should be able to recruit at Florida, and that's exactly what Dan Mullen is doing. This class highlighted by 5-star cornerback Jason Marshall.
Mario Cristobal has the Ducks at number 6. Recent reports, by the way, is he's staying at Oregon. Doesn't look like he's going to take that Auburn job. I know there was some interest there from Auburn. He's recruited great since taking that job with the Ducks. He's at number 6.
Yeah, Kingsley Suamataya is that leading recruit there. Last year for Oregon, a lot of 5-stars, not the same 4-star depth. 16 out of 21, though, are 4-stars or better. That's a good base for Oregon.
Yeah, no doubt. Top 5 here. Clemson had one of the greatest recruiting classes ever last year. They had 6 5-stars, including DJ Uiagalelei, who you guys have seen play a couple of times this year. They're at number 5 this year.
It's another typical Clemson class. They don't always get the same volume as the Alabama, OSU, Georgia guys, and that's why they're maybe around that top 5 range in most years. And this might be a sub-20 player class, but the quality is so good, they're going to rank in that top 7.
They hit on
top 5.
so many players.
They really do.
Most of them end up being at least rotation type of players, if not superstars. We'll get into the top 4 in just a moment, but who is the best recruiter in college football, a.k.a. which coach recruits the best? Nick Saban, Dabo, is it a Lincoln Riley?
It's got to be Saban, right? Now, Kirby Smart's done a great job at Georgia. I don't want to give him any shade at all, but I think it's Saban.
I think there's a clear top 4, and we'll get to some of those in a minute. I think it's Bama with Saban. I think Ryan Day has proven he is a hell of a recruiter. I think it's Dabo. I know number 5 slightly lower this year, but he reels in 5-stars left
it's
and
quality
right.
there.
And then Kirby Smart. He's recruited great. He just can't get the quarterback. If he can get the quarterback,
maybe it's JT Daniels.
They've been winning titles. We'll see. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Number 4 here. It's been a rough year for LSU, but they got a lot of talent coming in, Tom.
Yeah, and being able to hold on to those guys will be key for the Tigers. There's been some transfers and opt-outs and thinking about transfers within their own program. LSU has always recruited pretty steadily. Another team that's often struggled with the quarterback thing. They figured it out with Joe Burrow.
Yep.
LSU should be just fine if they keep recruiting at this level.
Elsewhere on the SEC, the Georgia Bulldogs. We just talked about Kirby Smart. 20 players in this class, including 3 5-stars and 12 4-stars.
Yeah, Amarius Mims is their top recruit, number 7 overall. But you mentioned the quarterback for Georgia, Brock Vandagriff. He might be that long-term starter there. Maybe JT Daniels comes back for one more year, and then they give the keys over to Brock. Getting that quarterback spot will be key, but once again, Georgia, Kirby Smart ranking near the top of the recruiting rankings.
So we've still got Alabama and Ohio State. If you guys have watched recruiting, it's been a wild back and forth over the past several months. Not really giving anything away. Those are the top two here. We'll break them down in a second. But who's going to be number one? Let us know in the comments. Georgia could make a late push possibly. Yeah. We'll see what happens on National Signing Day. But who will get the number one recruiting class in college football this season? Go ahead and let us know what you guys think. We'll get a couple of shout-outs here. I see Bama in there. I see a Roll Tide. Kirby effed up on Justin Fields. I think there's some truth to that.
Yeah, he did. He did.
There are a lot of weird circumstances there, but let us know who will get that top class. It's not Ohio State as of now. That could change. They're at number 2, but they've had a great class. Had a couple of guys in recent months decommit.
And they got some more guys they could land. Also, so does our number 1 team here in a second. Look, they got a lot of guys in the top 25. Jack Sawyer, they just landed the number 9 overall player, the number 1 receiver for the 3rd straight year. Shout out Brian Hartline in that wide receiver coaching room there. I've been very impressed by OSU. Ryan Day is going to continue to have success with that program. The easiest way to win in college football, easiest being a bit of an understatement there, recruit the best athletes. You'll find ways to win.
Look, when you have good players, it's kind of hard to mess it up, unless you're Texas. Number 1, Alabama. This has been a wild back and forth between the Buckeyes and Clemson Tide. Alabama's made a late push in the past, I'll say 6 weeks or so. They've added a lot of key talent there. And if you look at the 24/7 composite rankings, they're like 4 points ahead of Ohio State. It's
basically
very
one
close.
5-star, which there will be some of those available on signing day.
So this could certainly change. They've got 22 commits right now, 6 5-stars, 12 4-stars. Excellent class highlighted there by J.C. Latham.
Hey, they got 2 guys in the top 5, by the way, on the offensive line. That's pretty damn impressive.
So join us on National Signing Day throughout the day on Wednesday, youtube.com/chatsportstv. We are going to have a ton of coverage. We're going to break down team classes, Alabama. I'm going to do some. Tom's going to do some. James is going to do some. Ohio State, Oklahoma. Maybe if something crazy happens with one of the lower teams.
Most of that top 10 you just saw.
Yeah, Georgia, LSU, a lot of those teams. Just stay tuned for that. Subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of it. Now.